Poisonrana.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana. You found us on whatever podcast app you use, and we are live.
Live, youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Hello, how we doing?
Hello, YouTube room. Hello, monetized
Yes.
YouTube room. Look at us now. Small content creators. We started from the bottom.
Yeah.
Now we're here.
Let us know what commercials you're getting. What's being advertised for you?
Yeah, what would it be for us? White Claw and, I don't know.
Deodorant.
Deodorant, because we say, yeah, we do. We should get a sponsorship. We love telling people to wear deodorant. Welcome. It is Sunday. We are going to talk a whole lot about a whole lot of pro wrestling here today, including just from a lot from last night. Just so much wrestling.
Oh boy, summer has started. G1 is in full effect.
Oh, yeah.
AEW have expanded. Collision's in full force now. You got Triple Mania going on. I'm going to be completely honest here. What? Yeah, no audio's working. People are... Okay, Jake's trolling in the chat. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, a whole lot of wrestling going on. I've got to be honest, I haven't had a chance to really catch much WWE this week because there's been so much other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, WWE, they're gearing up for SummerSlam in a few weeks, right? And...
Jeez, there we go. Yeah.
All right.
Fuck.
It's been a hell of a day. Great. All right. Well, what we were saying is, WWE hasn't had too much going on this week, but they're gearing up for SummerSlam in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're hyped for that. We're going to be there. And I don't really know what's announced on this card. I'm super bummed we're not getting DIY versus Steen.
It seems Johnny is injured. That tag division now seems it's time to really move up some people. Creed's obviously lost that match on NXT, which means they might be leaving, but it seems like that story could be still going on. But I think Sami and Kevin desperately need opponents, and that division needs heating up a little bit. I imagine maybe it's Imperium they're facing.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, they've had a match on Raw, I think, but to do it again on a bigger stage, the match would be good. But yeah, that definitely seems a little stale since Kevin and Sami's won that title. Nothing officially announced yet, but I think we do get a sense of what the card is, and the card looks pretty complete now. They haven't been doing these big bloated cards that they were doing a few years ago. They've been kind of sticking to the 8-match kind of thing, and it seems like we're pretty much there. You've got Roman J, you've got I think Seth v Balor probably, with Priest kind of looming. You've got the women's triple threat. You've got Trish versus Becky. You've got, it looks like, Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Perhaps Austin Theory, LA Knight. It seems like it's all coming together now.
Yeah, I hope some of those, you kind of sold me. I think Imperium is the next best tag team to face Owens and Sami there, but the rest of the card sounds pretty good. You got LA Knight, Austin Theory. He's clearly taking that title.
He's got to.
Austin Theory is completely just not worked.
No.
I think it's apparent. That Cena promo,
especially with Waller coming in now, it's we've now got a better young influencer wrestler kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll fill in the card by the time you listen to this Monday. Raw, SmackDown this week. They'll fill in the card for SummerSlam next week. But we will be there. If you are going to the show before or after, hit us up, because we will be out and about in Detroit. I'm on the fence about GCW.
I'm not on the fence at all.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely not going.
if they were to announce Yoshihiko, it might change my mind. But yeah, we'll see. So far, not necessarily thinking about that. But yeah, if you're going to Detroit, let us know. Hey, if you're in the UK going to All In or All In It, let us know. We have sold out for that event leading into All In on the 27th of August in London, but we might have some leeway there might be a secondary way to get tickets, or
I mean, we're based on the space we have, so we are completely sold out in that space, but there is also space downstairs and a little garden area as well, so if still feel free to come along and we can hang out. Just you might not be able to see the actual podcast portion of the show, but you can certainly come and have a beer with us. Also, if I know London's pretty big and pretty spread out, so I don't know where everyone's staying, but let us know if you'll be interested in an after party, because the venue has given us permission to kind of come back after All In and hang out and have some drinks and play some wrestling music, maybe get some karaoke going. So let us know. Obviously, like London Transport only runs a certain amount of time. It is a long weekend though, so most of you will be having the Monday off. So if you want to come hang out and party after All In, drop us a DM or whatever, because we're trying to gauge interest to see if it's going to be worth it or not.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm sure we'll all want to decompress after watching 5 hours of wrestling in a packed stadium, but it might be nice to just hang out and chill. And if people are still ready to party because the day after they're off, then we'll totally kick off with some wrestling karaoke over in the UK. So let us know for anyone who is going that side. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Jake has sent us our first super chat today.
Hello, Jake.
Saying, are you going to get back to Dark Side reviews? Really love the Grahams and Junkyard Dog episodes, and Marty Jannetty I'm excited for too. Have you seen much of Dark Side this season? Are you up to date?
I haven't caught up on all of them. I actually haven't seen both those episodes you mentioned, Jake. However, I did skip ahead to watch the Doink the Clown one, which I really loved. It was pretty serious, and I'm on the same page as Jake because the Marty Jannetty one definitely has my attention.
Yeah, I'm all caught up. I watched it was Adrian Adonis last week, which was pretty interesting. Part of me likes, just learning about these wrestlers that I've heard talked about, but they're kind of in a generation before I was really watching, and they weren't necessarily the top guy, so haven't really seen a great deal. So that's something I've quite enjoyed with it. A lot this season, like obviously it's a pretty depressing show. It's the dark side of the ring. But a lot of this season has been, hey, this guy was really good. And then he took a whole lot of drugs and then did bad shit and he died young. And it's pretty much kind of 3 episodes in a row. Like your Doink, the Grahams as well. Doink, Grahams, Adrian Adonis, and Junkyard Dog. It's all the same kind of thing. I'm looking forward to, more the Bash at the Beach to see what that's going to be about. And Jannetty, which I'm sure you're going to feel like gross and icky watching it, but he's he's pretty hilarious.
It's fucked up, yeah.
I think I'm looking forward to maybe more the, light relief episode, because drugs are bad, kids, is basically what this show's been this season.
Yeah, I love the show so much, and wrestling is crazy, and it's interesting seeing a lot of non-wrestling fans getting into that show as well, because they really love it, especially like these people who don't watch wrestling. Know what it is, they know Hulk Hogan, they know Stone Cold, whatever, but they love getting into the show because it's like some of them are true crime, and that again is super popular. So love the show, and it's like I'm already like trying to think ahead, like what else could they do? This show is gonna eventually not be able to run because like they're gonna cover everything.
It's always evolving, right? They
gotta do one on CM Punk.
One day we gotta have that Saudi Arabia plane episode.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel there's gonna be a lot of red tape they're gonna have to get through to try and get that story told, but there's still plenty of stuff we haven't had. I think Vice did do something on China, right? But we haven't actually had a dark side on China. There's so many more topics you could cover, and they always find the niche stuff as well. Like
absolutely.
So I really do enjoy that show.
Yeah, me too. It's definitely one of my favorite shows to watch. I do have to catch up. So thank you for the super chat, Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
Remember, we have super chats here now. Look at us. We're real. We're killing it. We do have also a Patreon that we're killing it on, and that's how we keep the lights on for real. Sign up to become a friend. It's only $5 for a whole month's access. You get everything that we put out this month, and you get everything that we put out in that back catalog. All the retro NXT reviews, movie reviews, pay-per-view reviews, best matches ever, including some shows we put out this week. A What's Next, looking back at January 15th, 2014 edition of NXT, featuring PAC, aka Neville, versus Tyler Breeze, which was pretty awesome for 2014.
Really good, yeah.
Standards, a great little cherry pick there. But also an Up Yours We looked back at Midsummer with Chris Leone, who did pretty good in your trivia.
In the trivia, yeah.
For anyone who listens to and Up Yours, Davey always puts a little quiz on to the person who picked whatever it is we watch and review. And usually people get around.
I got to make sure they're watching
Yeah.
as well. They're not just picking things blind and having us talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, we got to test you. Have you done your homework?
So Leone did pretty well for Midsummer, so that review came out last week. But we had the BDE champ, Fire Frank, pick Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Davey's new favorite movie.
Oh God!
I think you've been watching it like 4 times now. The review's over, man. You don't need to watch it anymore.
So, is that how many times I've been to the toilet today? 4 times?
Puking from watching this movie.
Absolute shite.
So listen to our review of that, and Davey may or may not test Frank in Turtles 2 trivia. And we may or may not force him to put the title on the line. But you have to tune in to see.
We got to get it off him somehow.
Yeah, we got it.
One way or another.
Yeah, so listen to that review that just came out there. But again, to become a friend, you get access to like so many podcasts that we do, so many different things. And it's only $5. You can RSS feed it into your podcast app.
Yeah, and since Patreon have kind of changed the way billing works, it used to be regardless of when you signed up, it would bill you first of the month. So if you sign up, say, the 30th of a month, you're then going to get rebilled a day later. They've changed it now, so you get a month from whenever you sign up. And that kind of, since then, we haven't been putting out as like firm schedules because it gives us a bit of freedom to be a bit more
creative,
flowing with it. So with Kota Ibushi being announced in the Golden Elite for Blood and Guts, which we are going to talk about obviously later on this show, we thought it'd be a great idea to throw out a best match ever Golden Lovers.
Oh yeah, we're spreading the love for all our patrons. That's right. We decided we love Kota Ibushi, we love Kenny, we love that they're finally reuniting, and which we're going to talk about. And we're going to be looking at the best of the Golden Lovers this week. So get your feedback in. I did put up a question in the Facebook group, and I got a few answers that helped me help put together a little bit of a list.
There's going to be a lot here I haven't seen either. Obviously, there's those big matches like
Bucks.
against the Bucks. And I think what's fun about this review is we're going to be talking about a lot of people who are in this Blood and Guts match coming up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like getting all into Ibushi and Kenny.
That's right, the Golden Star. So we're going to look back at a little bit of the history between those two. That'll come out this week. I don't know if we'll have time to record it before Blood and Guts, so we might put that out the day or two so after, which lets us chat about a little bit about that match as well, when them reuniting there. So that's coming out over on the Patreon. Best match ever, Golden Lovers, which I can't wait to talk about. So all the stuff over there, $5 to become a friend over on the Poisonrana Patreon. Over on the free feed, this very feed, listen to Shot in the Dark with John Cena. He covers all the other wrestling. I'm sure he'll have a lot to talk about next week when he talks about all the wrestling from just this weekend. But we have What Up Doe with B and Cino, and I just dropped a new Detox with myself and Jordan Goodman talking a whole lot about Kiwis. I don't even remember what. We were joined by a guest as well. It was just a fantastic chat about enjoying life. So go listen to that as well over on this very free feed here. So lots and lots of podcasts to keep you entertained this summer, and we hope you enjoy them.
Absolutely.
And we thank you for listening.
Yeah.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
You could be in Berlin.
You could. Yeah, no one's hit us up. We don't have any listeners in Berlin.
Who's joining us for karaoke in Berlin?
In Berlin, yeah. We're going to Berlin.
Sunday 20th? I think
Sunday the 20th.
Sunday 20th of August, Mauer Park. Join us.
Okay, so
beer in hand, songs coming out of our mouths.
Davey found this like place in Berlin. This park does this like park karaoke. So he convinced. That's how easy it was to convince me to go to Berlin. And we're going not specifically, but we're going and we're gonna try to A, see this thing in the park, but B, try to sing in this park. So I feel like maybe I should hit the DJ up, being like, hey man, I'm making it over from Canada.
Coming all the way from Canada.
Just to sing. What would the song be? We have to sing together. We can sing a duet. Like, there's no way we're both getting up there, so we need to sing
all right, hit us up at
Share
Poisonrana Pod. Oh, share.
Do you
sharing
believe...
a nice summer's day park.
You think people in Germany would know that song?
We should try and do it all in English, but then see if we can learn
parts in
a
German?
chorus in Deutsch, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be quite interesting. Do you believe in
I've been doing my Duolingo,
right?
Trying to brush up my German and learn some Spanish.
You're pretty good. You're pretty good at German.
It's rusty, like it's out of practice, but I know I've got vocab and stuff. It's just trying to put it all together. But yeah, I'll definitely be trying to speak as much German as I can when I'm over there.
Yeah, we're planning our big Euro trip. In about a month's time, we'll be getting on a plane going to the UK. But you also booked us tickets to the weekend concert at Wembley.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah.
And then we're hanging out in London, and then we're going to Berlin for a few days. And then obviously we're going to All In. We're doing our All In It. We have a whole trip planned.
It does kind of fit the translation.
You looked it up?
Glaubst du an ein Leben nach der Liebe?
Someone, please, God, click that. I'm going to put that over a trap beat. Yeah, it sounds just like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the song we're singing?
I think it's got to be.
All right. I agree. What would be a better song for us to sing?
No, there's nothing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. How pissed would you be if the person before us chose that song? We're just sitting there like, guess we'd have to do Hero by Chaddy Kroger. Are you trying to learn more?
I'm trying to like look at the rest of it.
Dickie's saying he's gonna join us in Berlin in the YouTube chat. Oh, he thinks we're talking about WCW Berlin again, which I am a big fan of.
Ich glaub wirklich nicht, dass du stark genug bist. Nein.
Someone's coming in this YouTube chat like, wrestling review. What's this?
Just singing chair in German. Hey, it's our show. We do what we want. Do we have to talk about wrestling?
No, we don't have to. We have this whole trip planned, so if any people are out in those ways, hit us up. We'd love to. Or any recommendations for Berlin as well. We're not sure if we're getting into the Berghain, but we're gonna try that.
Have you ordered your mesh shirt?
Mesh
yet?
black shirt?
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually. But I'll.
A dog collar, some chains.
Should I get a dog mask like we saw at Toronto Pride?
That they were saying, like, someone described that in the video, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Germany, right?
Oh well. We should probably talk about some wrestling.
I guess so. Yes, there is so much wrestling to talk about. Follow along with us on the socials at Poisonrana Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, all that stuff to check out all the links and everything that we do. But yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it. Starting with AEW Dynamite this week. And we kind of been continuing this whole JAS story with Jericho, Don Callis trying to have him join his family. We were wondering, is Jericho gonna be sort of the fifth man in for BCC? But right in this opening segment, it kind of was clear Don Callis was like, no, it's not to do with that.
Yeah.
And sort of tugging on his heart strings a bit, showing a clip of them from like 20 years ago. And Bad News Allen telling them, like, you should never leave each other's sides, stick together. So now Chris is like, oh, what do I do? And this caused, Jake Hager to give his hat back. He's like, you got to make a choice, Chris. I've saved you in Abu Dhabi. I've been with you since day one. I left an undefeated MMA career to join you. Sami and Garcia, they've made it through to the finals of this eliminator tournament. And they're like, yo, Chris, what the fuck? What's going on? So what's going on?
Yeah, Jake Hager leaving the hat behind like Peter Parker, leaving the spider suit behind. Here's just like, it's over, and leaving it. It's like, what, when you put your boots in the ring?
Yeah.
It's like he's done with the purple hat.
I thought he was great because he's such a funny character, but he did it all with such like sincerity and seriousness. And I got to give you this back, Chris.
I almost need like a slow video slideshow of all the times him wearing the hat, clips of him set to like, some slow music. But could this be the end of the JAS? I think Hager should just always stick with Jericho no matter what.
Yeah.
I think that will be the case. I didn't mind the match with Commander. It had some really good stuff, and then it had some not so good stuff, but that's kind of what I expected. But you know what? In hindsight, like, I still think Jericho, even though he's up there, can still hang and still be a key character on TV when used properly. And the stuff using him in Canada as a character and teasing with Dawn.
I wonder, is this just to have Chris as a babyface in Canada? And then I see him like reverting to heel like pretty.
But like the tour is
soon.
like over now, so it's like.
Yeah, so I can't say I think the whole JS thing has been pretty messy. You had like Daniel Garcia, like, is he a wrestler? Is he a sports entertainer? Was the clear kind of like conflicted babyface in the group, and then they seem to give that role to Sami twice. Now they gave it to Sami for that, you know, ROH 4-way match, which I think Garcia should have absolutely been in, and then they kind of did this weird babyface turn with Sami because he's gonna be a dad, and
gotta be a babyface.
And now it's like Garcia's the heel in it. It feels all out of place, and now Jericho teasing to leave. It's like, well, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, what's Cool Hand Ange got to say about all this?
Yeah, Daddy Magic.
Yeah.
They've got great new T-shirts now, though.
Okay.
There's because Magic was teaming with the Butcher, so he had like this like Magic beef or Magic meat or something like that.
Right.
T-shirt, and then Cool Hand Ange has a cool shirt that says like "Don't touch the hair" or something like that. That's what they're doing right now. Yeah. Does Jericho interfere in the Blood and Guts match and align himself with Takeshita and Callis? Like, I assume after after Blood and Guts, this feud is over and we separate into like singles feuds.
Yeah.
And Takeshita and Callis, I wouldn't say are aligned with BCC going forward.
No.
So you could align with Callis, Takeshita, and Jericho.
Okay, so what, build to like Takeshita and Jericho against Garcia and Sami, and then all the singles that come out of that.
Yeah.
They seem like determined to have Sami as a babyface at this point.
I don't know why.
We're all, I feel, just waiting for that Garcia story to find out, like, I'm a wrestler, and he leaves it, and you know he can keep the silly dance because it's over. But like, I haven't been enjoying it. I liked this. I think Callis is awesome. I love all his promos.
I hope he's okay. Did you hear what happened to him? Did you see what happened?
Did he get fucked up again?
So last night at Triple Mania, which I'll give some thoughts on a bit later, he came out there to like pretend he was going to interfere in Kenny's match. So Conan sent him away. At a press conference after, where Kenny was being interviewed on the baseball field, they had Takeshita come in to beat down Kenny, and like Don was there to trick Kenny, and then Takeshita beats him up. So they had security like pull them away. But one guy who looks like he's just like a photographer or something took it upon himself to just tackle Don Callis and pull him off and like attack him. And people were like, yo, he's acting. Like,
It's so, like when...
you know, I'm sure he's fine, or else we would have heard a lot more news. You know, Callis loves that even more now that he had someone physically think this guy was actually being such a dickhead.
I always find it so funny when that happens. Remember when that... female security at WrestleMania tackled Gronk. He's like, Gronk, I'm in the finish.
I'm Gronk. I'm trying to stop Jinder from winning here, please. Yeah. Or there's so many instances like that, but this is it, like you see it off camera where he like gets kind of tackled and taken down, and he's like, "Yo, what the hell?"
I wonder as well if this is like AEW are juggling a lot of things at the moment. You've got Blood and Guts, you've got your stuff on Collision, you've got obviously All In. I think is this Callis Jericho thing, I guess, starting to plant seeds for All In. It's kind of messy because we're doing the Combat Club stuff right now, and it feels like anything else should be starting after that.
Yeah.
But I think they're aware of how much time they've got to get through things. So we're starting to see like seeds planted already for All In, but I'm still not entirely sure what it is, unless it is that tag or
like I imagine the pay-per-view is a lot of singles, whether it's like a Takeshita Kota Ibushi, a PAC Kota Ibushi. Jericho, I'm not sure where his match lined up for any of these shows, but I would guarantee that he's on that show, both of those shows.
100%. And I think with it being back-to-back pay-per-views now, that's been confirmed, and we'll be talking all about that a bit later, you can do, you do the tag match on All In and the singles on All Out, and some other feuds you maybe do the other way round and that kind of thing. So to share like the wealth of these stories and things. And it's only a week's turnaround, so that's probably what we're going to.
Look, Jericho gets a lot of flack online just for being Jericho. Yeah. And I totally sometimes agree with some of the things that people nitpick, but to me, he is one of my all-time favorites, and I would like to. I still think he can go. Even the match with Commander was a little rough, but that guy's moving like a million miles an hour.
I also don't think Commander's as smooth as some of the others. Like, he is a bit, oh, this might not work out, this move.
Every time he does the rope walk, I'm nervous for him, right? But yeah, like, I love Jericho. And whether it's him being protected in tag matches, that's fine. Like, he still hits his key moves, can still get heat and all this stuff, and people still want to sing his song. So I still think he's a part of the puzzle when it comes to AEW.
Oh, and he's going to be one of the most recognizable people on that show.
Exactly.
He's going to be, and they'll, I'm sure, send him out on all the media rounds because people know who Chris Jericho is.
Yeah.
Going on Good Morning Britain this morning, like all those shows, like I think Jericho is the guy you use.
He's got to get on a panel show.
Yeah.
He would be great.
What, like, mock the week, that kind of thing?
He would be hilarious on one of those shows. Look, as much as like people who listen to wrestling podcasts and go online for wrestling, and we all love wrestling and know everything in little details of what's going on, when we go out to wrestling events and bars and wrestling's brought up, so many people go, oh, I love Chris Jericho. Oh, yeah, he's in that other WWE thing. Well, no, it's actually that. Oh, yeah, I bought tickets. He came out. Yeah, I love Jericho. It's like, they don't know anything. They're like, oh, fuck, $40 tickets to see this guy. I used to like this guy. Yeah, Y2J, cool.
I mean, a couple of the people we're going to be sat with are kind of lapsed fans.
Yeah.
And they're going to not know who anyone is and then be like, oh,
Chris Jericho.
It's Jericho.
Also,
where's Break the Walls Down?
Yeah, also, like, the as much as, like, Jericho, you know, people always go like the Cena "you can't see me" thing is broken, like that's just like famous worldwide. So is like Randy Orton RKO, but the Walls of Jericho, like everyone knows what that is. Like that's become like the next generation sharpshooter. So like I see a lot of memes, and I don't know if you know who Adam 22 is, 22, but there's a bunch of memes where people are like, oh, he had someone else putting his wife in the Walls of Jericho. I'm like, how did Walls of Jericho become like a well-known
I mean, it's
thing?
amazing as well because it's such a simple move. When you think it's like one of the moves that young lions learn, right?
We could never do a best match ever Jericho because I just have too many favorite ones.
We'd have to split it. You'd have to do like pre-WWE, WWE, post-WWE.
Welcome to our Chris Jericho fan club podcast.
All right, we spent a lot of time on this, but one more question. If he is doing the media rounds, Jericho on the Graham Norton show, who are the other two guests on the couch?
I would like it to be like a rock star because Jericho would be he would know what to ask and talk about.
And an actor, I think.
And then an actor, yeah. Someone who likes getting in fights or something. Russell Crowe? I don't know. Who would Jericho sit down with?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Let us know. You want a really varied, but also, you know, like you can drink on that show.
Yeah.
And you know Jericho's going to get
the goose
trolleyed on that.
Yeah, Jericho getting absolutely buckled on BBC or whatever.
With fucking Vinnie Jones and what, Dave Grohl.
That would be fucking insane.
And then let's throw like an actress in there as well, like
Julia Roberts.
Jennifer Lawrence. I think she can drink. Yeah.
I want someone who knows how to party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jericho.
Let us know.
I wonder if he still parties the way he used to party.
I think so.
All right.
I think so. Right. Well, also on Dynamite, we had the continuation of our two best friends. No, not Chucky T and Trent Beretta, but Adam Cole and MJF.
That's right. The best friends in the world.
We saw them go to a bar this week. MJF trying to hit on some girls, play video games, played Fight Forever.
See, like, I loved and hated these segments.
Yeah.
To me, it reminds me of Family Guy humor. Like, MJF is Stewie Griffin. I've said this before. Like, the way he acts and talks and everything, like, he plays coy a lot of the times, and then other times he's straight up just, like, a jerk. And, like, him doing shots at the airport. Were they at an airport? It looked like they were at a lounge or something.
Some bar, yeah.
Yeah, hotel. And, like, they do the shots. They did the shot, hit the ground first, bottoms up, pour one out. And then, of course, it's him, basically bagging four of Toronto indie wrestlers.
No, I really care about Britt.
And he's like, oh, okay, I'll take him myself. Yeah. We recognize them because they work all the Toronto indie shows around here. Taylor Rising, I think, was one of them. Silesia as well. But yeah, then he comes back and he's zipping up his pants. Like that's a little like, all right, like the kids watching would love that kind of stuff. But he's supposed to be the bad guy, I guess. But I love the back and forth. Everyone's just assuming, okay, wait for MJF to finally turn on him, which they must have some sort of twist ending here to swerve
It's
us.
Just like layers within layers because both know they're fucking with each other, but both are genuinely like starting to enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
I think MJF was being kind of sincere when he was like, "Oh, I never really had friends to play multiplayer with. Multiplayer's great."
Oh yeah, he's trying.
And Cole gives him a look like, "Oh, buddy."
I love how it's MJF taking him for shots and trying to, get girls, and it's Cole being like, "Here, I stay at home and play video games." And even funnier is the online video where everyone thought a few weeks ago there was a gun to CM Punk's head when he was like, "Buy the video game," when clearly he didn't know what he was talking about. That's how MJF acted in the new one, where it's Adam Cole like, "Hey, I'm with my friend MJF," and he's like, "Yeah."
And they got that deluxe pack because they had FTR in the game.
Right. Yeah. They can spring out the big bucks.
I'm personally enjoying it. I understand people's criticisms saying like, "Oh, this is your world title picture and it's comedy."
Right.
But I was a fan of those Kurt Angle Austin things back in the day as well.
Yeah.
I think it's entertaining. I think it's been the best version of these MJF buddy stories we've had.
I don't know. I did enjoy the Jericho singing back.
I mean, I think we could get that as well. I think we could get MJF trying to get Cole to sing show tunes with him.
Well, we really just need the double clothesline.
We do need the double clothesline. Fun match as well against my new favorite tag team, Big Bill and Brian Cage.
The big lads.
Yeah.
Big Bill. Yeah, I put out a meme that was say no to one Bill Phil and say yes to one Big Bill, because Big Bill is great.
He's great. He's fantastic.
We do Was Next, and a few shows ago we looked at Big Cass versus Aiden English in the sing off, and he was great in that years ago. So
we need Big Bill and MJF.
Big Bill
thing.
I think they get together and sing
because Big Bill used to busk
pipes.
He used to busk in
Allegedly.
the New York subway. Yeah, no, he's got a great rendition of Danny Boy in him.
Apparently,
I really enjoyed the match. I've been enjoying this comedy, and to be honest, it's I think it's getting Adam Cole more popular than he was in this first run in the company so far. I think they can heat it up and make it serious when they need to. They could win these titles.
Yeah, I was like, hey, it'd be interesting if they did actually grab the titles, maybe not from FTR, but from someone else, and then somehow the titles then switch off. It would just be interesting and funny if they just stayed as friends and actually didn't feud. But clearly the feud needs to go into this. I'm wondering if it's going all the way to an all-in or an all-out, and that's where we are getting this match, because it seems like then this feud would be the missing link to then connect finally Punk and MJF to go at it one more time in Chicago at All Out, I assume.
Yeah, I want to see this friendship last a bit longer though. Yeah. And it's going to be that everyone has that friend where you bring them out and everyone's like, why are you friends with this guy? And you're like, I don't really know, but I don't know. I've been with him for years at this point.
You don't think that about me, right?
No. And I think that's what it can be for Cole. It can be Cole as a babyface. Everyone's like, why are you hanging around with this? I don't know. He sucks, but I like him.
They're pretty funny, especially the Shivani digs and stuff. Like, that had me laughing. So again, I actually do. You're right. Look, like back in the day, all the wrestlers did this shit. Like, and there's social media now, which changes and removes that like curtain away, but they're still managing to like get laughs and get something out of it. And AEW aren't the best at storytelling. They're amazing at delivering matches, but story-wise, they're not that great. I would say this one is working. So
I think as well, if you've been following the MJF character for all these years, there is always that thing. Okay, he's always being devious. What is he cooking? When is he going to turn? We had that with the Punk feud, which was obviously a lot more serious when he was, like bringing up about how he felt betrayed by Punk or bullied at school and all that kind of stuff. This is obviously a lot lighter, but knowing the MJF character, you're always going, okay, when is he going to strike? When's that going to happen? And they've built Adam Cole in such a way where he is a babyface, but he still is kind of admits, I've been a prick a lot of my life. Even doing like the thumb to the eye in this match and stuff like that, where it could be Cole to be like, no, like, you're cool, but I still want your title.
I feel like that's probably the swerve in the storyline is Cole getting this huge babyface reaction when he decides that no, MJF, like, I'm going to turn on you, and eventually sets up that match. Like, again, part of me, a bigger swerve is like MJF and him win the tag titles. And
I could see them doing it. Like,
I assume they get to face FTR, and then when they lose, that's when MJF.
Like, is that a big enough match for All In?
FTR
do the tag match at All In?
No, I think it's FTR and the Bucks. That's no ifs, ands, or buts. But
yeah,
Bucks,
I mean,
FTR.
Bucks are a million miles away from them
that
right now.
But in about a month.
Actually, I think they did announce when this match is taking
It's
place.
like next week or 2 weeks.
It's yeah.
So
we got the final on Wednesday against Garcia and Sami,
right?
And then
that'll be pretty good too.
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff.
Right.
I am liking that storyline though.
Me too. Okay, and we had Nick Wayne's debut in AEW this week. I think they've done a fantastic job with all these videos showing who he is, about his dad, Buddy Wayne, and the connection with Darby Allin, and then had a killer main event match against Swerve. I think they've like nailed it with Nick Wayne so far.
Yeah, the videos did wonders. Again, they should just do more of these for their actual wrestlers. We praise their like Road 2 specials and stuff, but sometimes having a 2-minute, 3-minute video on someone showing who they are can go such a long way. And this kid literally being 18 years old and then now finally being able to wrestle here and showing the story of, because it was making waves when it happened, when he got the contract, but he's still been wrestling, and he's still wrestling. Like this week, he's still wrestling all around the world, doing indie shows in like Japan now and like everything, and his career is definitely taking off. And you watch him one time, and if this was the first time seeing him, you definitely probably became a fan, because he was very impressive. And Swerve, like we've been saying for a long time, years now, that this guy is like a main event player waiting to burst onto like that scene and steal it. But this was like a great interaction. These two know each other. They've had history, the whole stuff with Darby as well. So I love this, and this kid made his name in like one night, and we'll definitely be seeing him. We got to see him live at GCW in that one like mixed tag match or whatever, and we were like, oh man, this kid's like young Osprey. And
that's what I get. Like
yeah.
when I used to go and watch like indies back in the UK before Osprey was huge and he was smaller and that, I definitely get that vibe. And I think I saw some like discourse about, oh, you build him up just to lose. Yeah, he's 18. He should lose.
He shouldn't lose.
Like,
he shouldn't beat a guy who's been killing people. Like
it's for me, it's almost like when it's, you know, the World Cup and England are putting their team together and they bring this 18-year-old over, they might get on to play for like 5 minutes of a game. And that's like, but that's still a win. You're fucking 18 and you made the national team.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I kind of felt here with Nick Wayne. He absolutely shouldn't be winning against Swerve. And I think they did it in a great way where Swerve had to get really nasty. That arm snap thing, I was sure I heard a crack. And then Wayne's kind of scream after it and then just staring at Darby as he hits like the JML driver. I thought it was awesome. And it appears that's where we're probably going, Swerve v Darby.
Yeah, again, is that a TV match or is that all in? Like, that's a big enough match.
That could be an
all
all-in match. Like
Swerve needs a big all-in match. I thought it was going to be Swerve and Keith Lee, but you know, I think Darby Swerve.
I don't think we're ever getting that.
Yeah, I think that would be a pretty cool AEW just one-on-one lights out match. Darby and Swerve, those guys will murder each other.
I'd like to have them kind of follow. Nick, you say Nick Wayne's doing like all these indie dates as well. I think maybe not have him wrestling every week on TV, but continue with these video diaries. Like, let's say in a year he does the Super Juniors or something like that. Document that. And I think he's someone who can be almost like a more serious version of Thea Hale in Chase U in a way. Do you know what I mean? Where AEW's like his education almost, and we're seeing him grow up before our eyes to eventually, hopefully, pays off and he is a legit main eventer down the line.
I think so.
He's got so much potential.
Absolutely, and it's super cool. This kid's 18, man. Like, I was watching a lot of wrestling at 18, is like I am right now.
Yeah,
but yeah, crazy.
And then we had the main event segment where it was revealed PAC to be the final member for BCC. They beat down Omega.
They didn't hit his music, so it's just like Kenny standing there, and in the back corner of the shot, you see this little fucking troll with a chair. And his fucking, probably he picked up his hammer eventually too. I'm like, what is that? What is this troll? Oh, it's PAC. The troll came back from out of the bridge over in the UK and made his way back to North America. It was cool, but then we knew where it was going when Kenny's getting beat down, and they're about to murder him with this steel chair stomp to his throat. He's like, no, just look at the screen.
I thought, because doesn't he go like, PAC's like any last word?
Yeah.
I thought he'd just be like, Kota Ibushi. Yeah. And then you could do the lights in the video, but he's like, no, roll the tape. Let me play the video I made of my best friend.
And then, then they play a video of Kota Ibushi. Really, it should have played, my boyfriend's back and you're gonna be in trouble. Because that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Is, hey, you fuckers want to play ball? Well, I got my boy, and he's crazy. So Kota Ibushi officially announced for AEW Blood and Guts, the Golden Elite. The Bucks show up in the middle of the ring. They clean house. They save Kenny. No Kota in Canada.
They're not flying him out for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this. First of all, PAC, I wasn't on like my list of people I thought of at all. Came as a surprise, but makes complete sense. Has all this history with Kenny, all this history against the Elite with the Trios tournament.
Yeah.
A tie to BCC being British and also working with Regal in NXT for all those years.
Right.
Like, I think a great fit, and also perfect timing because PAC has to be featured at the Wembley show.
Yes.
They've got to, and it would feel a bit kind of at this stage shoehorned in if in like 3 weeks from now they're bringing PAC back to build up some random match. Now he's like right in the main event mix. It makes sense. I liked his justification. You think I'd forget that you broke my fucking nose, Kenny?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm coming for you. So I thought that's awesome. And the just, you know, PAC squaring off against like
Ibushi.
a lot of these guys. Ibushi, of course.
That's what I would book. You want All In to be like the first time where it was like crazy matches just put together. That's the match. Ibushi, PAC. Like,
you've got the PAC Hangman history as well, being like the first match,
Full
first
Gear.
big feud. Yeah.
That's where the Full Gear comes from. Right?
So I think this match looks incredible.
Yeah.
These
so
10.
The Golden Elite. Yeah. There are 5 of them finally together here in AEW. Kota's gonna make his debut. It's gonna be absolutely nuts. And then my only, like, we're going to All In. I hope he's on that card. But seeing Ibushi in AEW is gonna be crazy. And I can already hear some of the discourse of, oh, I don't know who this guy is. Why should I care about this guy? Just watch it and find out. Like, someone came up to us at a show recently we were at, because we went to so many a few weeks back, and they were like, I just didn't know what they were trying to say dream match for someone I didn't know. And then I watched the match and went, oh, I totally understood, talking about Vikingo that one time. And then they're like, oh, now I understood. I'm like, that's like another one of those things. If you don't want to look up anything, that's cool. But when you watch it and it blows your mind, isn't that even better? Like,
yeah, I mean, we've been saying that on Up Next about someone like Ilya Dragunov. It's just like, put him in a match. He's one of those, Ibushi's one of those talents that, like,
imagine that match.
Vikingo, you watch him the first time and you go, wow. And Ilya, you could totally have come in out of nowhere to face Gunther, and you'll get those fans, who the fuck is this little Russian dude? And then you watch the match and go, oh, that's one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So especially in a 10-man match, there's enough star power there. If you don't know who he is, he's going to blow your mind. I see him hopefully being more like I don't see him AEW full time, but like kind of that Osprey role where he's a special attraction, can do your big shows. He can come help Kenny when's needed or feud with Kenny when's needed. And because I don't necessarily think his character works as a weekly TV character.
No.
He should be that, just like keep that aura about him.
Kenny's heavy.
Yeah.
Kenny's man. You touching my man? I'm coming back. Takes his earrings. I'm coming back.
So prediction for this match. Who's winning this thing?
It should be the Golden Elite. Let's give them the clear-cut win. Let's have them. I mean, this is designed, months designed to have Wheeler Yuta's face absolutely mushed in by Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega. Yeah. Like, him pinning him, I was like, oh, Kota's coming in and he's gonna kill you. Wheeler Yuta taking the pin for sure.
Yeah, or you could have like Ibushi pin PAC to set up that match or something. I don't know. I think the elite, the Golden Elite, are more the people you're going to be focusing on those big matches at Wembley.
Right.
Like, if you are building Bucks FTR, like, you won Blood and Guts, you're the tag team, you should be going up for that. Kenny against Osprey again, you won this big match, you get redemption, you're going against Osprey. Whereas BCC side, I don't really see, like, what is the Mox match for All In or All Out?
Sort of death match with someone, something like that. Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out. I do want these teams to split off. Like
It's got to
as
up
much
this,
as I
yeah.
want. I can't wait for this match this week, which we'll definitely talk about next week. But like, yeah,
This has to end it.
it will, and I'm sure we'll get into some better stories. Like,
And who are the two starting the match? Who
how
are
does it
going the
work?
distance?
Right, it's War Games. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nick Jackson and someone.
Claudio, he's probably got all that stamina.
Right. Yeah. True.
Nick Jackson, Claudio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
All right. But yeah, look, that's this Wednesday, right?
This Wednesday night. Yeah,
Woo!
which is gonna be crazy. So,
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm gonna try to have it on it.
Oh, God.
We'll see. Kota Ibushi coming in, which is just crazy. One of our favorites for sure. So we will be doing our best match ever Golden Lovers show sometime Thursday. So we will give some.
Yeah, we'll have it out by the end of the week
Yeah.
and can talk about Blood and Guts as well. And moving on to Collision, we had an hour-long match, 2 out 3 falls. FTR taking on Bullet Club Gold in a hell of a match here.
58 minutes.
Yeah.
They went something like that. That's,
Teasing the time limit draw, which was great, I thought.
yeah. Pretty crazy. I mean, these guys have been the only guys wrestling on this show since like it started. Like they've been the main events, interchangeable what the match is, but like whether it's 4-on-4, 2-on-2, whatever. But yeah, Jay White coming into AEW, everyone was like, "This is bad timing. You should have went to WWE." We're really not sure if that was even the case. And he came in, and everyone went, "Wow, look how they're using him." And I mean, I saw them using him in main event slots pretty quickly, considering being here only a little while. Here's another example of that. Him and Juice Robinson, I knew of them before for many, many years, but now seeing them put together, I groaned at it. And then now I love them.
Tony Khan's done this a lot, hasn't he? When you go like, "What? Why would you book
Why
that?
would you do
match?
the Bang
why
Bang
would you
Gang?"
put that?" And then you go, "Okay, you're right.
Because
You're right, that
Juice,
works.
the Juice character yelling at the camera and all this stuff, he's so funny and so good, and I just want to see him get his ass kicked. And then Jay White's kind of fit in that category, but his wrestling, I mean, we've watched Jay White matches go like an hour, like 70 minutes or something, and this is the longest match in AW in quite a long time, especially TV wise, and bringing it, all 4 guys just putting on like a wrestling clinic. It felt like 3, because it's 2 out of 3 falls, it felt like 3 different matches all in one match, which the good one of these should feel like that.
And I don't know, like, I felt that the time, I felt they moved the commercial breaks around more than usual, because they went pretty fully the whole first fall before taking commercial from what I remember. So I liked that, because and then we're like, okay, fall's over, let's go to break.
Right.
So it did kind of refresh you those breaks throughout it. I really, really like this match. I do wonder what you're doing with BCG next, like Jay White.
BCG.
Jay White Punk, is that where we're going after this? Because this felt like the end of this rivalry. Like
Yeah,
it felt pretty definitive, FTR winning here. But yeah, I really liked it. I'm with you. I kind of was like, ugh, Juice with Jay White, but it's completely worked, and these 4 have put on really great tag matches. And I actually, this I think was my favorite week of Collision. I like that it's become kind of more the wrestling show, kind of a bit bare bones with the kind of cold open with the promos, longer matches. I kind of, I'm into it. It's gonna take a while to like rehab some of the other characters on this, but if you know you're gonna get kind of these pay-per-view level matches given time on a Saturday, like it's certainly something I'll check out on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, no, and you know what? And it's also on at 8. This opened the show, so it was on at 8. I was like, oh, I guess I'll do stuff after. I mean, I didn't know it was gonna go on for an hour. I did predict it would be going on long, and it did. But it was totally good. These things with these AEW long matches, like we've seen with that Iron Man match. Will you rewatch this all the time? Probably not, because it's so long. But this goes up there as one of the best tag team matches in AEW for sure. It had so much going on. It had the hot crowd in Calgary, Saddle Dome. Stampedes going on. You had the sharpshooter spot where Jay White tuned up the band in Calgary to get booed, only to fake him out and put him in the sharpshooter. Jay White had me howling. Just like commentary every time they say Jay White was the reason MSG sold out. Yeah. Which is absolutely not true.
I like the teases of like, oh, this could change on just a count out. The spill, was it Dax and Jay White had over the barricade.
Right, yeah.
Where you had like Cash and Juice going over, like looking genuinely concerned, like, come on guys, we gotta get in the ring.
Yeah.
I really, really like this match. It was good.
It was fantastic. And FTR obviously wanting to put on a show wearing their Bret Hart gear in Calgary. So I really enjoyed this match and can't say enough good things. It is like, where do you go with the Bang Gang, the Bang Bang Gang Gang, the Bang Gang?
Yeah.
Gang Bang.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
like no gun club here either.
True, right, yeah.
We then went on to the final of the women's Owen Hart tournament with Willow Nightingale going over Ruby Soho.
Yeah, Willow winning. I think kind of everyone was predicting that. Poor Ruby just always loses in the finals of these tournaments. But Willow's just on this crazy run. She's one of my favorite wrestlers they've got going in AEW. I think everyone's a fan of Willow. She just puts a smile on everyone's face, the way she wrestles her character right now. And she's only going to get like better and better. So I think this is a first nice little like step in the right direction to eventually she will be champion in AEW right now, like with Tony and stuff. But I think it was the right decision.
Yeah, they've done a good job, like building her up and seem like a credible. I think the kind of audible call over Mercedes Moné and giving her that title definitely upped her stock a bit.
For sure.
And she's been really impressing. I also quite I thought Sky Blue looked good in the match against Ruby on Wednesday as well.
Love Sky Blue.
But yeah, this is good for Willow, and I totally see her having whether it be against Statlander or against Tony sometime down the line, maybe all out.
Yeah, like Willow's gonna be getting title up after winning this. You imagine you get like a title shot. So
still don't know the status of Jamie Hayter. So if Jamie's not fit for All In,
that would be
like Willow could be a good choice. I think.
Yeah. I mean, we did just see that match at Forbidden Door, right?
We did, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? Oh, Willow, Tony. Oh yeah, you're right. We did.
But
Statlander, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the ongoing feud with Malachi Black and Andrade.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the ongoing feud of Canada versus CM Punk, but no,
not
there yet.
Quite yet. Not quite yet.
So Andrade El Idolo.
El Idolo.
I gotta say, Ian Riccaboni was as big as a part of that match as the other guys in it, just because he's filling in for Kevin Kelly. And while we're recording this, it already came out that they've now signed him on for this.
Good, he's fantastic.
He was so awesome. However, just like Kevin Kelly, he could also not pronounce Andrade.
At least he got. I mean, maybe that is the maybe that is the like Spanish
Andrade El
pronunciation.
Idolo.
Maybe he at least got the letters in the right order.
Right. What did Kevin Kelly?
Kevin Kelly was El Idolo.
El Idolo.
Yeah, this I really like Andrade as a wrestler. You all know that.
Yeah.
This feud, it feels like I forgot. Like House of Black are trios champs, right?
Yeah.
And,
so let's put him in a tag match.
TK's doing that thing where it's like, oh, you're a singles champion, better put you in a tag team. Oh, you're a tag champ, better put you in singles matches. Like, he does this all the time, and it very much feels like a singles feud at the moment between Andrade and Malachi over this stolen mask, which just is. I hate stealing stories. Like, oh, you took that from me. Oh, buy a new one. This could lead to
theft. It should be, it's criminal.
Yeah.
It's theft, but yeah.
This could lead to Roosh and Dralistico or whatever coming to form the trios, but I just find it a bit bizarre as a story. It's not particularly compelling. Match will be great when it happens.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah, you've forgotten about your trios division, TK.
Oh, I don't know why he does that. He does this all the time. Look at MJF in the feud for a tag title tournament. Look at all these. It just doesn't make any sense. Even Orange Cassidy was champion. Was just in the tag tournament as well. It's like, okay, but the match itself when we get there will be good. But this is where it's like, okay, the Kings of the Black Throne minus Buddy Murphy are gonna take on two jobbers, and then Andrade's gonna
show his Buddy I
don't know,
injured or anything at the moment.
No idea.
Yeah.
Don't
know. But yeah, not particularly into that, but we'll like the match when it happens. And then the main event, CM Punk versus Ricky Starks for the men's Owen Cup trophy.
Yeah, Punk not getting quite the reaction I think he thought he would get in Calgary. Coming out in his Bret Hart inspired CM Punk trunks, which looked pretty cool. But then like kind of getting not, a pretty split. I don't know. It sounded more like boos than cheers. And Ricky, kind of the same thing. It was kind of like they're cheering more for him, but this match was fine. I'm actually not the biggest Ricky Starks fan, especially as of late. He just kind of feels like another guy to me in like a pond of just like kind of standout characters. He's the guy who does the pose. I thought the match was all right, but the ending definitely made me really sour on like the whole storyline and kind of just like it feels a little backwards with Punk. They're rolling back and forth, and then it's Ricky who has Punk to the mat and uses the ropes in the last second to get the win, where I think it should have been Punk doing that, which made a lot more sense to let the crowd boo him, because the crowd were then like, yeah, Ricky, yeah. And then to make even matters worse and really want to rub salt in the wound and rub me the wrong way is then they go, all right, Ricky, be a real dick, and walk right past Jushin Thunder Liger, take the cup out of his hands, don't even acknowledge him, and hold it up. And I was just so done. I was like, not watching any more of this Battle of the Belts shit. I'm done. It rubbed me the wrong way. I know it was part of the storyline, clearly, but I was like, what?
So we're getting a heel Ricky moving forward.
I guess.
Which could work. Like, I probably enjoyed him more when he was a heel with those promos in those early days. So it could be good for him. I enjoyed the match. I think Punk has looked good since coming back. I think he's had quite a few good matches now and doesn't look rusty. I kind of wanted that Punk heel turn as well, but I think we are going to the MJF match, and I think they want to keep him babyface for that. But yeah, it seemed like not overtly heelish from Ricky. Like it wasn't like a low blow or something like that. It was a roll up hand on the ropes. I'm gonna let it play out. I'm higher on Ricky Starks than you. I don't think he's there yet, but I think he could be. And
what about the Liger thing though? Like clearly that was to make him look like a dick.
Yeah.
But like I love how right before the break they're like, we have breaking news. Liger is gonna show up here, and it's like, sorry, you could have had him sit. You could have had him like I don't. It was just weird.
Like it was weird. He wasn't at ringside like watching.
So the only moment you saw him was him getting fucking brushed off. Yeah. So it was like so disrespectful.
It was kind of weird.
Was it the president of New Japan tweeted being like we allowed this? Like what the fuck? I'm wondering if it's storyline again. Yeah. But it's not like it's leading to Liger versus Ricky.
Liger versus Ricky Starks.
We can't. He's retired.
Nah, come out of it. He retired in Japan. Wrestlers retire all the time. Love it. Can we just, like, respectfully, can we just call it the Bret Hart Cup?
Yeah, I mean,
because every match, it's like, okay, this is for Owen. Better just do a Bret Hart match.
The elbow.
Let's do all of Bret's moves. Yeah. Let's wear Bret's gear.
Punk can't do Owen moves.
Yeah.
He can't.
No, but not just Owen. Everyone. Yeah. Everyone on this show.
Yeah.
Like Dax and Wheeler.
So many people were wearing the pink.
Yeah.
And in matches, Ruby versus Willow, I'm like, you're both wearing Bret Hart gear.
Like, I know Owen wore pink as well, and Owen did the sharpshooter as well and had some of the same moves, but I'm kind of over this Bret Hart wank fest you've been having.
It's Calgary, so you got to get, it's over now. We can move past it now. So that's a good thing.
Can we? Because I'd have thought that last year as well.
People love to dress as the colors, and that's totally fair. But like, I guess in Calgary, that's like the one, like, all right, like, go off, do your whole thing. Like, it's anyone showed up in Toronto wearing, Leafs colors, you'd be like, cool, whatever. But yeah, Punk, who like Bret Hart is his god, an all-seeing eye, and kind of getting booed in his backyard. So it's kind of interesting. But I am a little I feel it's a little backwards with Ricky being the one to cheat and then run past Liger. It just makes me go, okay, I'm definitely supposed to not like you, but you also beat Punk, who I think is the bad guy in this story. So it's making me as a fan being like, not as the match. Both matches this year, even Willow, the match earlier, didn't hit as like final matches that felt like this big tournament that meant so much. It doesn't really mean anything. They cut away. The show ended, and then you have to tune in after to see.
But also, I don't like. I mean, I've said this before. I'm just bored of the straight eliminator tournament.
Yeah.
Do a World Cup group style thing.
Sure.
Do something different. Like, have it. Like, I felt when they announced it, they made it sound like this was going to be a long tournament. You've got so much TV.
Yeah.
You could spread this out over 6
The
weeks.
whole summer.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and then feel like a real crowning moment. It's not, oh, you're one of 8 people who've won this thing. Make it a 32-man thing. Have it on, you know, have matches on ROH. Fuck, you haven't booked anything for your pay-per-view coming up in days. You know, like,
Crazy.
do stuff on there. Do stuff on Rampage, Dynamite, Collision. Like, I'd love to see them try and do, same with WWE, a longer tournament with more people.
It would make more interesting TV. You could have guys being like, oh, like watching people's matches, like, oh, I could be facing this person in a few weeks, and leading up to just something big. The winner should also just get a title shot.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's
like when you announce, like, oh, this Friday it's Swerve versus Action Andretti for no reasons. That could be a round 1 match easily.
Yeah.
That, you know, who's winning, but it means something.
Yeah. And then kind of sticking with the Punk thing, it's like, I'm like, you're keeping him babyface because you want him to face MJF, right? So it's like the end of All Out, Tony Khan helping Punk win, and it's like Austin and Vince at WrestleMania 17. That's the only way out.
Yeah.
And it's Punk holding up smiling because Punk, I don't think Punk wants to be here anymore. I think Punk is just contractually obligated to fill out these dates for the next year.
I think he wants to wrestle. And I think, like, I don't think he'd be there if he didn't want to wrestle. I think he has got the itch for that.
Okay.
And money, you know?
There's that, but I would assume it's MJF Punk at the thing. And
You know
that's why
what?
they didn't flip him.
You know what the winner should get? The winner for the entire year is the only one who can do Hart tribute spots.
I can wear.
We now need an Eddie tournament. You're the one person in wrestling who can do the shimmy,
And the
who can
splash.
do the frog splash, and
Meanwhile,
the 3
everyone
amigos.
else,
Everyone else,
fuck off.
come up with something yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, like in 10 years' time, when wrestlers are coming up, who are they going to tribute to? Because no one else has gear that's original. It's always ripping off other people's gear or superhero gear, right?
That's true.
So, you know, like no one's gear kind of stands out.
Yeah.
Because
No, I
everyone's
can't-
ripping other people off.
Yeah, it's true.
I do
And
appreciate good gear, though. So.
so it came out earlier this week that
Sorry.
oh,
one last thing.
my bad.
I'm kind of cut you off. Did you notice who was front row at Collision? Who Punk hugged afterward? There was a picture and video going around. David Benoit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Chris Benoit's son watched the whole show. Apparently, he got a nice front row spot there. They let him hang out, and other wrestlers were going up and saying hi to him. And apparently, people were coming up to him and taking photos, and he was just the nicest guy. People online were like, "Oh man, like,
Nice.
hope this kid is doing all right." Because I don't think he's like necessarily been training as
Right.
much as to be a wrestler. So I don't think like that is something that is the potential. But do find that interesting. Like, you know, you kind of feel for this kid.
Oh,
I would imagine.
100%,
Like,
yeah.
this kid's probably like trolled and tormented every day of his life. And
Well, and like, yeah, if he did want to be a wrestler as well, like you do, it's so difficult because people understand like he didn't do those things.
Yeah.
He's a victim, like
yeah,
in this whole thing, but also the name, the fact that he looks
Like
so like Chris Benoit did, it will go against him, and I think people will always feel kind of icky about watching him, wrongfully so, but
Yeah.
they will, and
I don't think he will be. I don't think he's like gonna be
no,
featured or anything. I noticed that he was there, but yeah,
I met him once.
no way,
I served him at Gabby's.
no way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
His like his friends, like they were all drinking outside and hey, do you watch wrestling? I was like, I do actually. And I'm like, watch this. And it was like them in a garage and like going through a table. I was like, oh cool. And then I looked, I'm like, oh, you're Benoit. I worked with his niece as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Wow. Damn. So he is training.
He what? I mean, he was jumping through tables in a garage. So
Is he doing the headbutt?
yeah. No, just powerbomb, I think. Well, yeah, AEW announced some new rules this week.
Oh no.
Yeah.
New rules. Can they wait till after Kota Ibushi comes in?
Yeah, what does, so we've got it here. There's to be no unprotected shots to the head,
Fair.
shots to the back of the head, buckle bombs, blind moves backward into the turnbuckle, fencing response or seizure cells, spitting, blood in the crowd, weapons or projectiles in the crowd, taking drinks or food from guests in the crowd, physical contact with the crowd, e.g. wrestler holding opponent and allowing a fan to chop them. And then there are some things that need to be approved by agents before the match. So any apron bump and outside stuff, table, ladder, chair spots in and out of the ring, only allowed with padding, so you can't do it on concrete. Matt Hardy. Any elevated spots outside of the barricade, so dives off of things. Kota Ibushi, please talk to your agent before Wednesday.
What does it say about fireworks?
Yeah. All pile driver tombstone variations, including sit-down drivers, inverted poison, Hurricane Rana,
Poisonrana,
vertebreakers, high-risk dives or top rope moves, intentional bleeding, throwing people through over ring steps, commentary table, blah, 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 weapon usage, throwing of weapons, choking, strangling, injury spots or angles, any physicality in the crowd, any physicality involving referees. So all of this has to be approved.
Wow. So AEW's done. Everything I like about it. I guess Jay White didn't get the memo. He was spitting last night.
He's always globbering in his beard, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't I think people are kind of overreacting. Like chair shots to the head, I think are kind of done now anyway. Buckle bomb, it's like we've seen some injuries. I could see maybe that being more of a approved thing rather than an outright ban.
I tell you, I agree with the fake seizures because I don't like that.
I mean, that's something we've talked about, like how I hate the fake injury spots when you're starting to play that. Oh no, the performer is actually hurt here, not the wrestler. It takes me out of it. I'm like, no, I'd rather sell a body part. Don't pretend you're dying in a match because it does take me out.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, well, this guy should win because you've given this guy a seizure, so the match is done.
It's over.
Like you've beaten him. Yeah. And I think all the moves and stuff there, we're gonna see them all.
Please don't ban a Poisonrana.
No, they're not banned. It's more there is a lot of repetition in AEW. Referee spots we see every single match.
Yeah, ban those.
Really, when it's Dustin Rhodes against someone on Rampage, does Dustin need to be bleeding doing
a destroyer
through a table? Probably not. Really. I think it's gonna make it should force people to be more creative as well with what they're doing, and just not repetition of spots. And we've been joking the last year about Mox. It's like every single match you bleed, and it starts to mean less in a way.
And then that damn Nick Jackson keeps taking people's drinks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you'll still see these things, but in moderation.
Yeah.
And that might be for the best. But I do agree with some of the things. So as long as the performers are safe, like if the whole stuff about Kenny doing the 91 driver, he's like, yo, this is what I fucking do. Why do people say I'm one of the best? You wouldn't do this if you're just learning how to wrestle and you're going, I'm going to hit this move. I
actually had a big argument with a director I worked with once because I was doing a play called All My Sons, and it was like the climax of Act 2, and I basically realized that my dad has been responsible for the deaths of all these people, including my brother.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So it's a really heated scene. And we did the scene, and the director was in tears after it. And he was like, that was great, but you can't do that again. We were like, why? And he was like, it felt dangerous. I was like, okay. And we asked each other, did you feel unsafe with me there? I was like, no, not at all. I was like, I didn't either. And he's like, well, I felt like something was going to happen. I'm like, isn't that what we're meant to do?
Right.
We're acting.
Yeah.
We've acted to a point where you feel emotionally worried about the situation, and we're both fine. So a Kenny Omega is I'm really fucking good at what I do, and I'm not hurt.
Yeah, because someone like Kenny Omega doing Poisonrana spots and all these spots, someone else will do that the next day, the next week, and then now he's got to come up with stuff. So when he does some of these crazier moves, then now someone's going to try to do these.
You also, that is the thing. You don't want to see these people on indies be like, oh, I'm an 18-year-old doing a Tiger Driver 91. No, it's two of legit the best in the world right now performing that move.
Yeah. So Ospreay's been doing the Tiger Driver 93, which is a little safer.
Okay.
Because he's like, I'm gonna slam you on your back and shoulders instead, which probably the safer way. But
Yeah.
banning all these moves and stuff. Maybe AEW will be just a bit more selective of what airs.
I've got a nice picture there of Sean Spears cracking Cody in the head.
Nice chair shots. Oh, because he's the chairman.
He's the chairman.
I love how
a bit dated, but it's the one that comes to mind.
No. He came out last night. The chairman. He had a mask on.
He's new TNT champion. I assume he was in Canada. He's Canadian.
They're like, shit. What other Canadian stars can we put in? Evil Uno. Oh fuck. Yeah, the chairman, the 10 guy.
What's his gimmick these days?
I swear he was wearing a mask. I could be wrong.
No, that was Luchasaurus.
I swear the 10 man was wearing like the maple leaf thing he wears. I don't know. Okay. He's the perfect chairman.
Yeah. We didn't watch Battle of the Belts. Sue us.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I watched Triple Mania.
Yeah.
Instead,
we'll get there
with real superstars like QT Marshall.
So he got jacked that show. He's been working out.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Well, let's go to some more AEW news. It's kind of been announced now that All In is going to be on Bleacher Report for pay-per-view, with All Out the next week also on pay-per-view. Talks of probably some kind of bundle to get the two.
Okay.
I don't know what that means for someone like us who bought the bundle for all the pay-per-views this year, whether we'll automatically get that included or not. But yeah, and the potential of WBD wanting them to expand the amount of pay-per-views they do per year, potentially even one per month.
I mean, look, more is more is the term of wrestling, it seems, but like they already announced a second they do so many shows. They do AEW Dynamite, Collision, Ring of Honor, like all this other stuff. It makes sense to add more pay-per-views. It really does. They'll make more money. However, as both of us have been to a crap ton of AEW shows in the last year, their audience ain't fully there. So that will like dilute things even more. How many fucking times will they go to Chicago to try to fill a pay-per-view arena? It's going to be really hard. So that's where it like concerns me as a fan, because watching AEW every week and now knowing like, ooh, this is taped off. They're not showing this arena because there's no one there. That's going to get even worse if they keep adding more shows and stuff. As a fan, it's like, yeah, they could sneak in another extra pay-per-view here or there in their calendar year. I think that would be okay. But to do one a month would definitely water down their product even more.
Yeah, it depends how you do it, because I think it would eliminate, these 15 match cards that they have in their big five pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll get that as much, which is always the criticism of these shows. It's like, it was great, but like, man, I was getting exhausted. It was match after match after match.
Yeah.
I think what you'll probably see is, like Winter is Coming is a pay-per-view. What are the other ones they do? Like Fight for the Fallen.
Isn't that good for like TV as well, to like promote like, hey, we're gonna have a big TV show?
Are these going to be pay-per-view, or are these going to be, your HBO Max?
Yes.
Kind of like Impact does. Impact has their streaming service where you get your monthly pay-per-view, and then you get your big pay-per-views like an All In or like a Slammiversary for them that you end up paying your $30 for. I could see them going that route maybe.
It would be cool if they were on a streaming service.
Yeah.
It really would. Like it's easier to access. I mean, here in Canada, we don't have that yet. So I mean, Max or Warner or whatever. So it's like we would have to get that, but I think that would make it a lot easier for wrestling fans to spend that money. If you pay like look at WWE, you pay $10 on Peacock and you get everything else as well. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, that's a pretty good deal, I'd say. So
I feel, and obviously there's as you said, money on the table. We saw this with WWE when they went from like their big four to doing In Your House for like less, and they sold well, and we're making millions more per year now.
Yeah.
I think with All In, I think it's a missed opportunity to not just do it live on TNT. Yeah. I was looking at what is on Sundays at 2 p.m. in the afternoon till 6 p.m., like which would be the block in like the Eastern time zone. It's nothing. It's reruns of old movies, and I think
it'd be pretty cool
if they're so behind this, having this as this huge, big TV stadium event, feel like sports. There's nothing really going on. There's baseball. I think that's it. You're not clashing with anything. You might get those people being like, "What is this? It's this free stadium show I'm watching." You could grab some fans, especially when you know the AEW presentation of like in-ring wrestling is quite different from WWE and what you might be used to, where that could grab your attention. I think similarly in the UK, like this is only 6 weeks away now. They still haven't announced what it's going to be on.
Yeah,
It could just be on
crazy.
Fight. I don't think you can justify charging in the UK because the 80,000 people that might buy this pay-per-view are going to be in Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
So I think, again, put it on TV, put it on ITV4, or part of your Fight Plus subscription, which then will definitely get an uptake of NordVPN and stuff like that if they do it that way.
It's interesting. I would like to see them announce. I would love for that to be like a free special that they just air out, because it would be so eye-opening for a lot new viewers. But we'll see what they do. Yeah, it's coming. It's closer than we think, and like they haven't really announced any matches or anything. So are we going to a giant?
We're leaving in about a month.
Yeah.
No, literally a month today. We go to today. We go to London.
Yeah, we're gonna get lit on a plane.
Yeah, I was looking at the lounges, like pre-lounge, whether it's worth it. You know, it's like
to pay,
or you can eat food and drink before going.
Let's go.
I've done Air Canada. It was like $80, something like that. But we'll drop $80 easily.
Probably drop.
I'll see if they've got Finette.
And it's a wrap. Getting fucked up on that plane.
It might. Well, flight's like 10:30 p.m. So I feel like it could be a good idea for that red eye to like have some drinks and sleep.
Exactly.
And then
they haven't announced anything for this this show. It's a month plus out. I'm sure we'll get some match announcements soon. But like also like, hey, how can I watch this? It's slowly showing up, I guess, with the Bleacher Report stuff. But yeah.
Cool. All right. And then the G1 started this week.
That's right. Are you ready to climax?
Yeah.
With New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Yeah. I like this year. I'm gonna try and watch as much as I can. I've really fallen out of it the last few years, but I thought this year there's a lot of new blood in there and people that I've heard people talk about who I haven't really checked out yet. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I've seen night 1 and most of night 2 so far.
Yeah, you had some on the other day, so I watched with you. Who did we watch? Ren Narita
versus Shota Umino.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think that was my match of that night.
That was great. Yeah, I probably would agree. I love those two. The Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not a unit, but they're like
It's like they're like the pillars.
Yeah.
Right. Like these are the people we're looking to moving forward.
I love all three. It's like Shota's for some reason dresses like Tanahashi.
It's funny because like the last three Musketeers were Tanahashi, Shibata, and Nakamura.
And that's who they all look like.
And they all look like them. Yoda Tsuji is Nakamura.
Shinsuke, yeah.
Ren Narita is Shibata.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
they
awesome.
look exactly. They look like they're cosplaying those guys, but they're actually amazing wrestlers. So I'd say Narita versus Shota was probably one of the better matches from that show. Yeah, definitely loved it.
Really, yeah, I checked that one out. I definitely recommend that one.
Those two, like, I don't like Sonata, and I already see more like standout stuff from like a Shota.
These three,
than Sonata, who's their champion right now.
I prefer the format this year as well. They've made the matches 20 minute time limit instead of 30, which means you're getting a bit more of a sprint, and I think it makes those time calls way more exciting because a few have been like 5 minutes left and you're like, oh shit, and we've already had a time limit draw in the tournament. I think it makes it more exciting, and it means you're going to get less of those. I mean, I haven't seen Naito perform yet, but less of those. I'm just going to fucking drip for 30 minutes and stall and go to, the Jay White style, that thing. I'm hoping you're getting less of that. But also because we're having quarterfinals, semis, and finals, you can do some more interesting combinations and some different people going far in the tournament with some upsets when it's knockout. So yeah, I actually really like the format this year.
Yeah, they treat it like a sporting thing, right? Like the way it's kind of like that. I like a lot of the people involved as well that you might not like would have guessed being in this tournament. I'm trying to remember what else we watched from yesterday's show that I
watched this morning. David Finlay versus Ishii. Finlay, someone else who like I've been aware of what's been happening with him taking over Bullet Club, but I'm like I've never been sold on you. This match with Ishii I thought was really good. I thought he really showed up, and I'm starting to see him more, upper mid card. I'm not saying he's a top guy, but I think he's gonna definitely make it to the quarters, probably win his group. And Ishii, it's G1 Ishii. He brings it. I thought they had a really good match. I really enjoyed that one. And then Aaron Henare, Mikey Nichols.
Oh man, the spot.
Aaron Henare, first of all, debuting his, what I think is maybe his first tattoo right across his face.
This guy, I thought it was face paint. And
Yeah.
then I saw the Twitter thing and it's like, oh no, that's permanent. So this guy got a tattoo covering his, like, below his nose. It's like a face
like
mask.
a beard.
It's
Yeah.
like a beard or a face mask tattoo with like tribal stuff. And like, again, makes him look like a serious badass. But this is Japan, man.
Yeah, he came out with new music and stuff, and they were, I think, Chris Charlton and Kevin Kelly did a really good job explaining the significance of this.
Right.
And they said it's like Maori, like tribal tattoo. It's his heritage, being like an indigenous New Zealander, and how like one of his great grandfathers was like one of the fucking founders of New Zealand or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But also saying like he's the only pro athlete to have this as well in all sports.
Okay.
And it's just showing his lineage, and
Wow.
they made a joke about this ain't no cute tribal chief thing. Like
Gotcha.
it's a legitimate thing. It made him look way more badass. I don't know if they called an audible at the end of this match with this driver that
handled driver type move. He looked
dumping him on his head,
Yeah.
and they were checking on him for quite a while and giving updates on Henare throughout the show. I found it weird that you'd debut this like new look,
And
new
then
music,
lose
shaved
this
his
way.
head, the face tattoo, look like a killer, and then lose to the tag team guy.
right.
Seemed a little odd, so I wonder if they just called an audible there, because yeah, this was scary looking.
Yeah, the spot, I've watched it a few times on Twitter as well or whatever, and it's terrifying. I mean, I don't know if he was supposed to kick out and then he just didn't, so they just didn't change that outcome. I'm not sure, but yeah.
And then I caught Shingo versus Eddie Kingston.
Oh
as
man,
well.
yeah, this is a must watch. You want to cherry pick? You want to pick your poison? This match, you just knew this was gonna be good. Shingo and Eddie. This is where I didn't like the 20-minute time limit, because I would have loved to see them fight for 10 more. These two just chopping each other, two big meaty men slapping meat, is exactly what I thought this was gonna be. The first opening seconds, Eddie takes his singlet down and he's like, let's go, baby. So I love this. I love Shingo. He's my pick to win the whole thing. I realize he's not going to win the whole thing, but I just love him. And I still think they're misusing him here in New Japan, because the crowd are always behind him. Like, the crowd are always reacting to what this guy is. And if I may say so myself, the ladies seem to love him, because Shingo's pretty handsome. He wears a face mask when he comes out.
He does, yeah.
And he looks cool when he wears that thing. And then he takes it
He's
off.
got that dog in him.
Yeah, he really does. The women are like, ooh. And like, then he is slapping up Eddie Kingston. So like, really, this guy's an all well-rounded like superstar. Shingo, I know he's been their champ here or there before in the past few years, but like, they're sitting on something here. And I genuinely love him. And this was a dream match. I don't know how Eddie Kingston held his composure. You know, this dude was probably
He's one of the most emotional guys on the planet, isn't he?
If you
Who cries more, him or Ric Flair?
Yeah, look at Eddie Kingston. So I love Eddie Kingston. I'm just ribbing him here, but like, you look at his social media and realize, if I were to read out some of the posts he would put out and not tell you who it's from, is it a 16-year-old girl?
Yeah.
Or Eddie Kingston?
Yeah.
The way he posts photos, he's always like emotional. Here he is. He held it together, and he's getting beat up by Shingo. And not only that, Eddie Kingston in his G1 debut beats Shingo, and you could tell this was a big deal for him.
Yeah, I think he could go far in this tournament. He's the New Japan strong open weight champion.
Oh,
I
man,
think like there's so many titles right now, but he's one of their champions, so they're not gonna have him lose to everyone. But he actually beat like one of the top guys in the company in Shingo here, and I think he's gonna have a good run. He's obviously got the Ishii match as well coming up. But yeah, this is great for him, and I hope they capitalize on Dynamite. They did say last week he won't be in the match because of the G1. They need to show him beating Shingo.
Show a clip or two of the match.
100%.
Slapping him up and his chest getting beat up.
He's AEW's representative in this, so they should absolutely be championing him.
Yeah, but this was a G1 match that right away I was like, okay, feels like the G1 again, because these two were just going at it, and this is what I definitely like to see in my wrestling in New Japan. And there's a few other matches that are like I'm eyeing up that are coming up in this tournament, but this one was one of them, and right out the gate, totally delivered. So love it. Would definitely say a match of the year. It's got to be talked about for sure. I don't know if it necessarily got to a level of like a Shingo Ishii, but
I wouldn't go that high on it
yet.
But I think day one, like G1 as it goes on, you're gonna get more and more of those killer matches. But good one to start. I haven't finished last night's show yet, just with work and 30,000 wrestling shows going on.
So many
this weekend.
Who's the third Musketeer then? The Shinsuke guy?
Yoda Tsuji.
Yeah, he's great. He's great too. I watched his match and like kind of briefly. I was getting ready for recording today, and I was like, man, this guy looks cool. He's pretty cool.
Got more height on him as well. He's pretty tall.
Yeah, and he seems pretty lit. So I love all three of those guys. Are just, if that's where New Japan's going, then I actually enjoy where we might be.
And I'd assume we'd have at least one of these guys in the quarters. I would think.
Shuda. He's my favorite.
Think Shota?
Just because he's red shoes.
I feel Tsuji's maybe the one they're most behind at the moment. He already had the title shot with Sonata.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And see, I think it's been a rocky start so far for me with this G1 contest on Post. But
I'm definitely not doing well.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything right. So
nothing right?
I don't know. I didn't look, but
okay.
I am in it. So I have Shingo to win. Who do you have to win?
Naito.
Which
against everything I believe in.
Yeah, you don't even like Naito, but Naito, I saw Post Wrestling put a clip of an interview he did today or yesterday where he's basically like, I went out the other day and I ran into some local fans and I said, who's the IWGP champion? And they couldn't answer me. And that shows that Sonata is not the right fit. So
that's why I think he's winning. I think that is the Wrestle Kingdom match.
Imagine he's just like, I wasn't trying to promote anything. I just genuinely.
I mean, that is a very Naito thing as well.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to promote a match. I
just trying to shit on
everything
friend
and everyone. Yeah. I am gonna check out more G1 than normal this year because it is a cool snapshot of wrestling. And hey, there's crowds now, and everything feels back to kind of normal. So
yeah,
I hope Hanare is okay.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated every week on Poison Rana.
Yeah, it's fun
with our G1 viewing.
Yeah, it's fun. So how many weeks does this go on for? Like 2-3 weeks? A while then, right? Are we going to be in the UK by the time this ends?
In the past, it'll be finished by then. I think in the past they've the finals have been like SummerSlam weekend, but that seems too soon this time. I'm not sure.
We've done a best match ever G1, have we not? Where we looked at like finals or something like that.
We picked a year, I think, didn't we? Yeah, I think we picked a year.
Because like when it comes to best matches from G1, you think of like some Okada classics, Tanahashi. But, I mean, Dave, I know you agree with me. Kenny Ishii from the G1.
Oh, yeah, it's one of my favorite matches.
That match is cold, man.
Yeah.
You can't tell me a better match than that match.
I show so many people that match.
It's hard to find. It's not anywhere for free. So you have to have New Japan World to watch it.
It's tremendous.
They should just upload that match for free.
Yeah. Finishes on August 13th. So week after SummerSlam.
Cool. Well, we'll definitely be talking about this
100%.
for the next few weeks.
But there was even more wrestling to be talked about this week, including Triple Mania. Triple Mania
300 million.
31. Quick Roman numerals there.
No, it's Triple Mania 31 like X something because they've done
31 part 2.
Part 16.
Mission Impossible 7 part 1.
Oh, yeah. Which, you know what? I watched 1 and 2. I'm trying to catch up.
Oh, okay, nice.
To watch them. And like I remember seeing 2 in theaters when I was like 9. And I think that's the most 2000 movie you can.
Limp Bizkit, right?
Limp Bizkit, yeah. Digital cameras, long hair Tom Cruise. Oh my god. Slow-mo John Woo.
One is him like on the wire going down, and then is it the bubble gum blowing up the train?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 starts with the big dive.
The rock climbing.
Yeah, the rock climbing that Austin Powers spoofs.
Right. Okay,
and then 3 is Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes. So I have to watch that.
4 is Dubai, and then I haven't seen since then.
They did well this weekend, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So I do kind of want to see it just because, but I'm hearing good things, so I do want to catch up because I feel like I haven't watched a few of them.
Yeah, Yeah, rewatching them would be cool. I don't know if I've got the time for that, but I might do 5 and 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, Triple Mania. What did you see from this?
Yeah. After I put on some of it, and I checked out pretty much part of the whole show. I kind of had it on and off, and then I finished it earlier today just to catch up. We've been going to Demand Lucha, so I'm in my Lucha phase, and actually we'll be going to Demand Lucha next week. It's a Sunday show at Lee's Palace, famous Lee's Palace in Toronto, so you will catch us there. Find Demand Lucha online and get your tickets, because Gringo's going to be there. Some of the FE, I think, is going to be there. There's going to be a few others, but we'll be there next Sunday, so go to Demand Lucha and see us there. But watching Triple Mania last night, there was classic Triple Mania plunder. Is that the right word? Nonsense. Yeah. With like this crazy like Royal Rumble type match. Our boy Gringo was in there. Jack Cartwheel, Mr. Iguana, Laredo Kid, Taurus. There was some crazy stuff. But I think the craziest thing of the night was Pentagon Jr., because they can call him that there, Penta, taking on QT Marshall in an ambulance match.
What?
And this venue is sick. They're in Tijuana, and it's like a baseball stadium. So during the day, it was, when they started, it was like still night. It was looked cool, like this crowd. But yeah, QT Marshall fought Penta in an ambulance match, and this got crazy violent. This like blew my expectations out of the water. I'm like, why the hell is QT Marshall wrestling in Triple Mania? But then he put Penta to the test. This guy was using light tubes and tables, and then the finish was Penta hitting like the fear factor off the ambulance through tables, only for Aaron Solo pretending he was a medic to take it off and throw. He helped QT win in like kind of a shocker too.
QT won. Wow.
Penta is like a big star down in Mexico. He's like one of their big drawing stars. So to have QT Marshall beat him in a pretty violent and pretty fucking nuts match, like again, this QT Marshall, and I
find QT a weird one, because I think he's pretty decent in ring. He just looks like a bloke.
He just looks like a normal guy.
Like a dad.
Yeah.
And I think that like if he did have a different look, I think he wouldn't have the like hate people have for him. But he can clearly wrestle. Like we've seen him before. Like it's like, oh.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I hope Penta's okay. His mask and his face was just completely messed up.
What's her name? Carly Cameron? What's her name? In QTV? What's her name?
Oh no,
did she rap him out?
No, she wasn't there. No.
What did you think of her rap?
It was good. On mute.
Like she can,
no, she was pretty good.
She can rap. I was like, oh, you're just a good rapper. Like it didn't really serve anything. It was like, oh, I just watched the music video of this chick rapping.
Was it supposed to be like the Acclaimed, how they make disses on people? Yeah. So that's what it was supposed to be. But then also we're like, who is this girl again?
But when the heels do it, it should be like comedic and bad. Whereas she was just like, oh, I can rap pretty well.
She's like a legit like singer musician or something. So yeah, it was weird. It was like, what is this serving? What's
great music video.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I should check out QT Marshall Pentagon is what you're telling me.
It was nuts. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I was like watching it, and of course, I always talk about when you're watching wrestling, whether you live alone or you live with partner, family, whatever. You're always watching wrestling, and it's fine. Nothing's going on. But the second something nuts going on is when your roommate walks into the room. So my girlfriend comes home from work as QT pulls out light tubes, and she's like, what the fuck are you watching? I was like, you know what, maybe I'll finish this later. And I did, and I was like, oh my god, he's using light tubes. So pretty crazy.
Okay, can you explain something to me, because I'm on the Wikipedia here. So Roosh and LA Park were facing Sam Adonis and Psycho Clown in a tag match, and the losers of this match are going to face at the next Triple Mania in a hair versus mask match. And this ended in a draw in 22 minutes.
So now
what happens?
So now it's a 4-way.
It's a 4-way mask for hair. And what? The person that gets pinned? Or how does it work?
I guess it's Triple Mania, man. I don't know.
So, yeah, how is this? Okay.
So it's gonna be on the 12th, Mexico City on the 12th in August. It's a 4-way mask versus hair match.
So when we come back from our trip and we go to Demand Lucha, we're seeing a bald Sam Adonis, right?
I guess, yeah.
Roosh ain't cutting that hair, and I don't see LA Park or Psycho Clown at this stage in their career removing the mask.
It's got to be Sam Adonis.
We're getting a bald Sam Adonis.
He'd look fine. He'll look fine. He's got a blonde like man bun mohawk thing going on.
It's shaved all around the sides anyway. Like he's almost there.
He's pretty funny when we see him at Demand Lucha. He's Corey Graves' brother, right?
Yeah.
He got really fucked up in this match. He posted a photo from his morning waking up in his hotel, and his hotel bed just covered in blood, like from his back. I forget the spot, but pretty crazy. Yeah, there was so much nonsense on this Triple Mania show. You had like the teams matches. Like I swear, what's it called? Vampiro was in action. Oh, I got to shout out our boy Vince, a listener out there. He's been listening to me for so long. Vince X, you know who you are. I was watching Triple Mania, and I saw this band come out for what is it? Mecha Wolf, this wrestler. And he's played out by his band, and I'm like, wait a second, I know who this is, and this is one of our listeners, Vince, and he played this guy out on Triple Mania.
Which guy he play out?
Mecha Wolf. He plays in this guy's band, so
all right,
pretty crazy. The band is called Monster Wolf Band on Instagram, so go follow them.
Nice,
pretty crazy. This guy got to hang out with. He sent me a picture later. I shouldn't say, but he was like, "Yo, I'm in Gorilla. Kenny Omega just walked by." I was like, "That's pretty crazy." So shout out Vince. Shout out Monster Wolf Band, who I saw. But yeah, the main event of this show was Kenny Omega taking on Hijo del Vikingo in the match that was supposed to happen. Then it happened on Dynamite in the quote-unquote dream match. This one, I wouldn't say was as good as their first time around. I'm not saying this was Kenny Omega just kind of getting it out there, but...
This is Kenny... Every AAA match I've seen with Kenny Omega, it's goofball Kenny Omega, even when he was champion. Like when they did Andrade Kenny, I'm like, oh, they're doing Andrade Kenny, that's going to be nuts. And it was kind of goofy. And this, for a lot of it, was Kenny goofing around for the first like half of this match.
Yeah, it's the second half he starts like destroying him, and then actually pretty much out of nowhere there's a super avalanche Poisonrana, nice, from Vikingo, and then the 630, and he pinned Kenny clean.
Yeah, kind of. Like shocking finish here.
This is Tijuana, but the crowd are going nuts for Vikingo, but the crowd are going nuts for Kenny. Yeah, actually. So,
but it's how often they're gonna get Kenny
probably
back there.
Not
it makes
back.
Way more sense having this title on Vikingo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say this really did much for me.
No.
This match.
This one, like, again, it was cool, it was fine, but it didn't live up to like maybe the hypes that when I was hyped for it way back. Right?
To be fair to Kenny, he's doing Blood and Guts on Wednesday.
Exactly.
So like
the highlights of this match was Kenny putting on his helmet and walking around and dancing and then stomping him and stuff. I love Kenny, but I did think you could, because you had Don Callis come out in the beginning, basically like threatening he's gonna screw him, and then you didn't do that.
Yeah, and you can do it in a way that isn't Vikingo like cheating.
Yeah.
But capitalizing on something, you know?
Yeah, so still like cool match, but definitely didn't live up to like maybe that first encounter where it was pretty much a showcase for Vikingo. But yeah, so later on, then they did a press conference where Takeshita attacked Kenny from behind, and then Don was attacked by some guy as well. But Triple Mania, as always, living up to the hype of being absurd, and I never change Triple Mania.
So next one's what, August 12th,
next
I think.
One's a 4-way
Part 3.
Loser loses their hair. I don't know. I love Triple Mania at the same time. It's so funny to me and so entertaining. And if you don't watch it, be sure to watch Botchamania, because I'm sure a lot of it will show up and end up in there. But yeah, never change. I do want to one day go. Trifecta. I got to do it. Yeah, Tijuana maybe not so much.
Anything else in the world of wrestling from this week you can think of? I think we've covered.
Yeah, I saw John Pollock, shout out Jopo, tweet out about a Noah dream match, meaning Nakajima and Miyahara, which was awesome. I just put that on before recording as well. And those two, I'm not super familiar with either, so I just kind of threw the match on and was watching, and I was definitely getting into it. They killed each other, so I would recommend that one there. But then, oh man, I watched something crazy this weekend, and that was Kenny v Ospreay 2, but in form of Speedball Mike Bailey versus Yoshihiko. So Mike Bailey fought the doll, the DDT doll, at GCW Forever, and this was as ridiculous as you could imagine. I'm assuming this isn't for everyone, but I was howling laughing at some of these things. They basically like recreate everything from Ospreay Kenny 2 down to like spots, down to someone dressed as Don Callis for some reason, down to security, down to
amazing,
down to blading. Yeah, shit got wild.
Tiger Driver 91.
I don't even want to spoil what they do in this
Who takes
match.
it?
Dude, it's nuts. It's so hilarious. I would recommend smoking a shit ton of weed before this one. This is a late night, come home, watch this one because it's so ridiculous. But yeah, Speedball is awesome, and he was fighting a doll.
I also want to give a shout out to Shotzi Blackheart, who storyline shaved her head in WWE, but it seems like it's kind of in solidarity for her sister who's going through cancer treatment right now, and she rocks it. She looks great.
Oh yeah. So her sister, right? It's her sister that has. So then she did it as well, and I think Shotzi also posted that she got engaged yesterday or today as well. So
nice,
big weekend for Shotzi.
Big weekend.
Yeah, shout out Shotzi.
Good stuff.
But yeah, that's all the wrestling from this week. There was a whole lot of it from Speedball and a doll to Triple Mania to Collision to everything, and we think we covered it all there.
Yeah, didn't talk much about WWE, but that's okay. We'll be
really
doing SummerSlam.
Yeah, there really wasn't much. I'm sure that we'll do a bit of a prediction show like next week and stuff. But I can't really think of what was going on there. But so much wrestling going on. Oh, we didn't even talk about Impact. There's an Impact show last night as well, wasn't there?
I've not watched that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I have a Saturday night job. It's amazing. I watched what I did.
I think Eric Young showed up.
Oh, okay, for Team Canada.
Yeah, Scott D'Amore's team, and basically kind of showing that he did quietly leave WWE. He got that Roddy deal,
right?
Slipped out the back, like he wasn't even there. So Eric Young back in TNA.
Hell yeah.
A1 showed up. Team Canada. You probably don't even know who that is.
A1 the sauce.
A1 sauce, baby.
Nice.
Steak sauce. But yeah, that was all the wrestling this week. Thanks for listening to us talk all about it. We will be back on Tuesday night over on the Post Wrestling feed right after NXT, talking about that show and everything leading into the the Great American Bash. Oh, I guess that's in a few weeks as well. So next week we got next week we got Demand Lucha on Sunday night, and then the following Sunday is Great American Bash, and then the following Sunday is the day after SummerSlam. So many.
Is that so?
Wrestling.
Okay.
How much wrestling? Yeah.
Is the Bash not on the same day as Demand?
No.
Okay.
I think it's the 30th.
And next week is the... Okay. Yeah, maths. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Something like that, yeah. So follow us on all the socials for all the other updates and stuff that we do. And check out our Patreon, because it's what keeps the lights on. It's only $5. It's like a coffee. It's like a lunch. And check out all the other podcasts that we do there. And thanks, everyone, for saying hi in the YouTube chat here on Sunday. Including Sam, Jake, MJ, hey MJ, Cool Gang, Big B, Hassan. I see you all in the chat there. Dickie, everyone. Thank you, appreciate that, and I can't believe
we ended with a long time first time from
a Sam. Shout out Sam, and shout out you for listening. I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at the Brady,
and I am at Davie Portman,
and we'll be back. And I'm just so happy that Kota Ibushi is also back. Goodbye.
Ahoy!
Poisonrana.